Hey everyone, I'm Mike from the parkprodigy.com, and here's a number that should change how you plan your Epic Universe trip. On average, you will spend 9 hours and 26 minutes standing in line, but on the flip side that you actually just have 65 minutes of actual ride time. So of course, with these numbers, you want to make sure that are you getting the most out of your trip? And of course, in the day and age we live in, I wanted to do something a little different for this video. So what I did was I took the real wait time data that we use in our planning tool over at the parkprodigy.com, and I asked it one question. I said, build me the mathematically perfect itinerary to get on every ride as fast as humanly possible. And what it built actually surprised me because it's not too much different from an itinerary that I personally built not so long ago. And that's exactly what we're going to break down in this video. I'm just going to break down the itinerary that the AI chatbot built for us using all of the data that we have tracked. So if you're planning an Epic Universe trip, just be sure to stick around until the end of this video. As always, I'm very excited, so let's go get started. Thank you again so much for checking out this video. Like I said, I'm about to break down the ultimate itinerary at Epic Universe, or the ultimate itinerary that AI you should use at Epic Universe based on real data. So first we're going to set this up. So what did I give to Claude in order for it to plan this day? Well, so over at the parkprodigy.com, and this is also public data online that you can go and try to find if you're trying to do something similar at home, but we track all of the wait time data over at the parks. We actually use it to power our park planning tool over at the Park Prodigy. And so we have all of the wait time data pretty much based on the different times of day. Average out exactly, we pretty much average out where wait times typically fall for each ride. So we gave that wait time data to Claude. Every ride at Epic Universe, the average wait times by the hour, like I said, and this would be for a 12-hour park day. And on top of that, we are including early park admission, which typically will start at 9 a.m. So what I did was I said we want to have 2 60-minute meal breaks, and my prompt here was build the optimal order to ride everything at Epic Universe as fast as possible, incorporating 2 meal breaks and using early park admission. And so based on the wait time data, here is what it gave us. And like I said, that wait time data is what is behind our free planning tool over at the parkprodigy.com. You can go and build one day absolutely free. So definitely be sure to go check out the link in our show notes. But here's what it broke down for me. And so what I thought was so interesting was number one, the first thing it said was save Super Nintendo World for last. It said every instinct, it says run to Mario Kart first, but this is the wrong move. The wait time for Mario Kart at 10 a.m. is 128 minutes, but at 8:13 p.m. the average wait time is 38 minutes. That's not, and you can see that's not a small difference. That's almost 98 minutes that you get back just by waiting until the evening. And I've done videos on this. I've done social media, Instagram reels on this. I have said that the wait time data that I've looked at has said come back to Super Nintendo World at night. And it's the same thing for Yoshi's Adventure during early park admission, has a 45-minute average wait, but later in the evening after 7:45 it has a 25-minute average wait. And the number three finding that it pointed out to me was that the best times to eat are when everyone else is riding their most popular attractions. So what it did was it planned lunch right around 1:15, which I guess is a little bit later than the typical noon lunchtime, and then dinner was at 6:33 p.m. All right, so here is the full AI optimized itinerary. It has you arriving a full hour before the park opens up. Maybe it's been watching my YouTube videos. I don't really know. This is the time it gave me. 8 a.m. says arrive at the park gate. 9 a.m. we have early park admission opens up. At 9 a.m. it's telling us to go straight to Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. Now what the itinerary does is it gave me a wait time too. It's saying on average that you still will wait 131 minutes for Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. That's fine. By the time we get off this ride, it's going to be 11:33, and it has us going over to Monsters Unchained first, which has an average 39-minute wait, and then it has us going over to Curse of the Werewolf next. Now in my personal itinerary, I would have done that in reverse. I would have done Battle at the Ministry, Curse of the Werewolf, then Monsters Unchained, but it has us doing Battle at the Ministry, Monsters Unchained, then Curse of the Werewolf. By the time we're off Curse of the Werewolf, it should be right around time for lunch. So you can stop and take a 60-minute lunch break. And then after lunch, you're hitting Fire Drill with an average wait time of 26 minutes, Dragon Racers Rally with an average wait time of 39 minutes. And it should be right around 3:30 when you get off of Dragon Racers Rally. And you're going to stay in How to Train a Dragon Isle of Berk. And you're going to go over to Hiccups Wing Gliders with an average wait time of 55 minutes. Now, once you're off Hiccups, we have you going out into Celestial Park. And first, you're going to hit Constellation Simulation Carousel with an average wait time of 19 minutes. And then we have Stardust Racers up next. It has an average wait time of 72 minutes here. All right, so by the time we get off for Stardust Racers, it should be around 6:30. And so the park plan that it gave me does have you stopping for dinner. My honest opinion with this plan so far up until this point is I definitely think if you hit it right, I think if you show up at the park an hour before early park admission starts, I don't really see any reason why you would wait 2 hours for Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry. So my honest opinion is you're probably going to be way ahead of schedule if you actually follow this park plan at home. And what you could do is, let's say even if you did get on and off Harry Potter and the Battle at the Ministry within the first 20 minutes, what you could do is you could throw in one of the shows. You could see the Untrainable Dragon show, or you could see Le Cirque Arcanus, and you can kind of fill in what I feel like you'll have an hour to an hour and a half sort of gap in your day right there. You can also mess around with the interactive wands. You can use your power-up bands shortly in Super Nintendo World. So just keep that in mind that I am having fun with this one, but I actually don't think this is a terrible plan. And so if you follow it at home, my honest opinion, just trying to help you out, is I think you'll probably be ahead of schedule if you do the right things and you have early park admission and you show up early. So those are just some of the ways that you can plug your time. But now after dinner, it's going to be around 7:30. And so 7:30, the park plan has us going over to Yoshi's Adventure, which has an average wait time of 26 minutes. After that, we have Mario Kart Bowser's Challenge, which has an average wait time of 39 minutes. And we're ending the night with Donkey Kong Minecart Madness, which has an average wait time of 77 minutes, even at that point at night. And so as you can see, if the wait time for Donkey Kong really is 77 minutes and all these other waits are average and pretty realistic, then by the time you get off Donkey Kong, it would be 10 p.m. and the park would be closed. But you would have done all 11 rides. And if you go and watch one of my videos that I did a couple weeks ago, or probably about a month ago at this point, I did an updated itinerary video for Epic Universe based on early park admission. And this is pretty close to what I had suggested. I mean, honestly, it's almost identical. I think the only thing I did say that we were going to get on and off Battle at the Ministry a lot quicker, and I swapped Monsters and Curse of the Werewolf, like I said, but I also don't think I had my families going on Fire Drill and Dragon Racers Rally because I wanted them to experience the shows as well. So mine was a little bit more balanced, but this one definitely is ride heavy to get you on everything. And I think the other important stat that really I took away from this, and this is really of no surprise, but the two biggest rides as you're planning your Epic Universe day at home that you really need to just keep in mind are definitely going to be Battle at the Ministry and Donkey Kong Minecart Madness, as both of those rides can easily bring your average wait time over 3 hours and 20 minutes. And so kind of planning strategically really is important for those two. And of course, it's just some of the other things to keep in mind. If you don't have early park admission, honestly, based off of this park plan, I don't think it's that huge of a deal. What I would do is I would just start out in Dark Universe first, and then I would just try to really time Battle at the Ministry. As long as you see it around the 2 hour wait, you can hit it at any point of the day, and you should still be fine and get through your day if you follow a similar sort of order. Of course, if you have the Universal Express Pass, you have a lot more flexibility. It's a very common question that I get on the channel. If you have the Express Pass, you really can try to tackle your day however you see fit at home. You don't need as much planning, but with the shows and the character meet and greets, there's definitely should still be some planning. And like I said earlier in this video, if you are planning a trip to Universal Orlando and it seems like you need a little additional help, I do have a brand new planning tool that we just released over at the Park Prodigy. You can use it and plan one day absolutely free, and it has all the data that I'm discussing and using in this video, and you could pretty much select the rides that are most important for your family at home. You could pick the order that you want to go on the rides, and the itinerary will pretty much give you the estimated wait time and a good mapping with projected wait times and a real solid game plan that pretty much tells you when and where to go to the specific ride so that you can have the most amazing day possible with the least stress possible. And of course, as an additional thank you for sticking around all the way till the end of this video, just be sure to go check out the parkprodigy.com. You can use promo code ParkProdigy10 right now to save an extra $10 off select discount Universal Orlando tickets. But I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you guys again so much for checking out this video, and until next time, I will talk to you soon.